Hi guys, I wanted to quickly show you my latest resource that I just finished making today, this weekend. So this is called ECR Extended Constructed Response Poetry. So I've already made one for fiction, nonfiction. This one is going to be specifically on poetry. So I wanted to give you a quick preview just to show you what's included with this resource. So it's going to have teacher directions, links to the STAAR passage. The passage is not provided because it is on it's an actual STAAR test. So this one is from 2013, fourth grade, the same one where the ice cream passage came from. And it includes teaching suggestions, a figurative language poster to share with your students and go over, a blank Foursquare for poetry, and this time, something new is I put a sample Foursquare already filled out so you can see how I fill it out with my students. You can either do it with your students' whole group. If you've done Foursquares before, you could have them fill it out in groups, in collaborative groups. And then they can share out, and then you can check it or add to their Foursquare. And if they've done a lot of it, they could even fill it out independently. So those are some different options, but either way, the Foursquare should help you to kind of know how I use that to go deeper into the poetry. When they are going deeper into the poetry and they're filling out that Foursquare, then the idea is that by the time they do the ECR question, they're already going to understand the poem on such a deeper level and do well on it. That's the idea. So it also includes 3 ECR planners for you to choose from, whichever one works best with your students. I included a new one that I have not shared that I'll show you that has 2 squares. So if you're just starting out, that might be a good option. And then I wrote 2 prompts that are ready to just print or post to Google Classroom. And one of those, I wrote a sample planner filled out so you could show the students as a way of as a way of modeling how to fill out the planner. And then I also wrote an answer for the ECR and I color coded it so you could also use that to model, or you could use it as an answer when you're conferencing with students to see if they put something similar or how they could go back and add details, things like that. So at the beginning, like I said, I have the teacher directions, exactly telling you exactly what to do. These are the links that you're going to use, or you could just do a search on Google for the 2013 fourth grade reading star. And since this is a PDF, you might need to copy and paste the links into a new tab. That's what I noticed works the best if it doesn't work when you click on it. It also sometimes doesn't work from your phone, so you might need to be on a computer to open those. And then these are already in Google Form format, which if students are using a spelling assistance or microphone, it works a little bit better in Google Docs. So that's why I chose Google Docs to do the ECRs. So you could just click on this and it'll make a forced copy where you'll have that ready to post to Google Classroom. And then I put some teaching suggestions, whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced, if your students fall into one of those categories for writing ECRs. And then I put some figurative language poster. This is the blank Foursquare that you would fill out. And this is what's new. This is how I went through the poem, and basically the top half of the Foursquare you are writing, especially the top left, is more preview strategies, the lines and the stanzas. That's before you even read the poem. Then you read it and you fill in the feeling or the mood, and then the message or the theme. And then I go through and I jot each stanza. And then I also go back a second time and look for specific figurative language. And I write down, and they don't have to have all of these, but I write down, this is a hyperbole. What is this? This is a metaphor. And kind of I thought this would help to initiate some great class discussions about poetry. So that way, since we have limited time, you can be talking about all the elements of poetry during your reading block, as well as using this for writing after they've already read it and analyzed it. So here is one sample planner. This is the one I'm currently using with the 3 boxes for the cite the evidence and 3 boxes for explain. But I also put this one, which has 2 boxes. And then this is the one that I would use if you're going for a really basic or even for some lower kids. This one might be where you want to start with. And then here's the prompts and the blank pages. This would be on Google Docs. And then this is what I use to color code. So this is a good activity to show your students the organizational pattern of an ECR. So you could use any colors that you want, but I use red for the introduction and red for the conclusion so that they can see those are very similar but different. I use blue for the text evidence and I use green for the explain. And then I added in a new thing that you might not see on some of the other samples, but I went through and I used orange font to really make the transitions and the sentence starters stand out, because once they have down the basic bones of the essay, the next step would be to add in those transitions and sentence starters to really make it flow. And that was one thing I noticed about the essays that TEA released, is that they all had a lot of transitions. And I think that's something that I've been trying to focus on teaching more mini lessons on that. So this is the planner that I filled out so that you can see how you go from the planner to the final copy. And you can even point out to the students things that are different and things that are the same. So you like, for example, you'll notice over here that I didn't write sentences. I wrote bullet points with just ideas that I'm going to turn into sentences. The text evidence might be a direct quote, or it might not have a sentence starter yet. They could maybe put that on or circle it or highlight it and then put it when they do their final copy, especially if they struggle with writing, with handwriting and penmanship. They could write a little bit less on the planner, but then more when they type it. So you'll notice that I have some bullet points, but then when you look at the final copy, you'll see that I expanded on some of those green sentences. And then I went back and tried to make some different word choice. And so that would be a good model to analyze with your students and point out those orange transitions. Okay, so that was just a little sneak peek of the resources. And don't forget to check out my Teacher Pay Teacher store for plan on adding more resources every week, and my Facebook page, which is called Teaching RLA with Carlin Liborio. That's where I will post new products and photos and teaching ideas and tips and videos. So I hope you enjoyed this new hot off the press resource. Let me know how your students like it. And like I said, my goal is just to help support teachers, which helps support students. So thank you for watching this and thank you for supporting me so that I can support you guys. Bye.